Hi, I'm Bud Summers with Guitar Lessons with Bud. Lesson number 16, an easy explanation for the caged system. Easy explanation to me is this. The caged system is simply a system for remembering the 5 major chord forms that you should know how to play and how to use them around the neck. These 5 major chord forms, be able to play them anywhere on the neck of the guitar. The purpose is to eliminate awkward shifts, to help with soloing, to finding harmonies, and to allow you to easily find different voicings for the chords. That is to, different notes at the top and bottom and the middle, how the chords are going to sound. That's the easy explanation, I think. Now, caged. You may have learned these 5 chord forms already. You probably have. Somebody may have said, well, in alphabetical order, the A chord is like this, the C, the D, the E, the G. I usually try to teach these chords in this order. I'd like to do E, A, and D together as a group and work on pivot and guide fingers because there are several shifts available using pivot and guide fingers. Pretty easy to understand when you're doing the E, A, and D chords. My guitar lessons 4, 5, and 6 all deal with changing those chords quickly and using pivot, guide fingers, and parallel movements. Best acronym of order, of course, is CAGED. It spells the words. The letters spell a word. C-A-G-E-D spells CAGED. These chord forms are all movable. They're all major chords. Again, the purpose of them is to help with being able to play them different places on the neck. To be able to do these, you need to learn about substituting fingerings and how to do some of the bar chord techniques or movable chord form techniques. I talked about them in lessons 8 and 10 if you need some brushing up on that. But otherwise, we're going to go ahead and move ahead, and I do like the term movable chord forms instead of bar chords because not every form requires a bar, but they are all movable. Okay, and the name changes as it moves. Let's start with our C chord. We have first finger on the 2nd string at the 1st fret, 2nd finger on the 4th string, 2nd string 1st fret, 2nd finger on the 4th string at the 2nd fret, 3rd finger here. And generally you just play 5 strings here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and that's all well and good. But we've got a couple of open strings here. So if I wanted to just move this up, well, that wouldn't work very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute fingers. I'm just going to put my 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fingers in place. Now you notice I have my 1st finger out here on top. I've just substituted. And then it's easy to move them up. C to D is a whole step. So you move up 1 fret. And now you would just go through. Your 4th finger is here, 3rd finger, 1st finger, 2nd finger, 1st finger. And now you're playing a D chord. You move it up, D to E is a whole step, so you move it up here. E to F is a half step. So that's an F. F to G is a whole step. G to A is a whole step. Okay, so we just substituted. We took the C chord, we substituted 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fingers instead of your 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. It's a little bit more of a stretch, but it's something you're going to want to get used to so that you can do this. There's your C chord, D chord, E chord, F chord, G chord, A chord. I'm using an acoustic guitar for this. I probably should use an electric, but obviously you can go on up the neck. For brevity, this is okay. So that's the C form. Then we've got the A form. No matter how you're fingering it, 1st finger across, 1, 2, 3. I teach it usually with the 1st finger in the middle. But either way you go, you can see you've got things that are going to have to change. You've got an open string here, and often you have an open string there, depending on how you're playing. So I'm going to assume the 5th and 1st strings are going to be open in your chord form. So when we move it up here, that no longer matches. So what we've got to do, now you can do different ways of fingering this thing here. If you're going to do it as an arpeggio, some people like to do, get those second, third, and fourth fingers in there like that. Some people like to lay it flat. It's all right going, the pitches are going up. It's okay to do that. But when you're coming back down, unless you prepare that finger and have it there all across all of them, I like to slip kind of a backward thing. There with 4, 3, 2, coming back down. And I generally will go up by just laying down though. So there's a B chord. B to C is a half step, so you move up 1 fret. First finger's on the 3rd fret of the 5th string now. D, C to D is a whole step, so D to E is a whole step. E to F is a whole half step, excuse me. And F to G is a whole step. Okay, so that's the A form. Using again the second chord. So now we go to the G chord. A lot of people, some people play it like this, first, second, third fingers here. I've always liked to do it with this setup here, because even if you're playing those low strings, you got the opportunity here for the suspension, to go to the 7th, to shift quickly to C. A lot of stuff there. Anyway, though, here's your G chord. Okay, and you got all these open strings in between. So as you try to move this, especially in the lower positions, that's a pretty big stretch. As you get farther up the neck, it's not as bad. But then when you split it up, you're probably going to do it like this. We find it, and this was a G, obviously. Substituting fingers. Put that 4th finger in there at the 5th fret now for the A. Your B, and then B to C is a half step. C to D. Okay, so we're all the way up to where we're playing the E there with that. Then the E form. Just substitute 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fingers in, and you got, and this is a pretty well-known bar chord. So when you move it up, A, B, C. And then the D form. Now the D form, some people will argue that the D and the C are the same, and they are so very similar. But if you do a strictly follow the way that you play a D chord, you'll see there's a little bit of a difference anyway. So there's your regular D chord, and then if you moved it up, you put a bar behind it. You do it like that. Big bonus here. That's a cool chord. The E major 7. You just cover. You do a double bar. It's your first finger covering the B and the E on the 5th and 4th strings. So you get that big boom with the 6th string open, and then bar. I just like to do it with my 4th finger because it's right there, and then the 2nd bar goes on the 4th fret with the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings. Big booming E major 7 chord. Anyway, back to the program here. So we had this D chord, and if we wanted to move it up, we find that we've got to substitute. Okay, so there is our E, and then if we want to do that, Okay, so really, again, I ran too long on this, but the cage thing doesn't have to boggle your brain or anything like that. It's just a nice acronym for remembering those 5 chord forms and how you can move them across the neck, making them movable chord forms, substituting fingers. Just make you a better guitar player all along. I'll do some more things with this, though, in the future. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to put something in the comments if something's not clear, and I'll try and clear it up for you. Thank you for watching. I'm Bud Summers. See you next time.